Ever wondered how horses went from wild stallions roaming the plains to becoming our trusty companions in adventures, work and even therapy? Well, saddle up because today we're galloping through time to uncover the captivating journey of the domestic horse. By the end of this video, you'll know all about their mysterious origins, their incredible impact on human civilization, and some mind-blowing facts that'll make you see horses in a whole new light. Stick around, because we've got a surprising twist that even historians are still debating. But first, did you know there's a baffling enigma in horse history that could rewrite everything we thought we knew? We'll unravel that mystery at the very end, so don't trot off just yet. Let's kick things off at the very beginning. Picture this. Over 50 million years ago, a tiny creature no bigger than a fox, called Eohippus, pranced around ancient forests. These little critters had multiple toes and looked more like small deer than the majestic horses we know today. They lived in dense woodlands, munching on soft leaves and avoiding predators. As the climate changed and forests gave way to grasslands, these early horses began to change. They grew larger, their legs lengthened, and they lost all but one toe, which became the hooves we recognize now. This adaptation allowed them to run faster and escape predators in open terrains. Fast forward through millennia of natural selection, and we have the magnificent equus, the modern horse. Nature sure knows how to pick its favorites. But here's something fascinating. Horses originally changed in North America and then spread to Eurasia via land bridges. They went extinct in North America around 10,000 years ago, only to be reintroduced by Europeans thousands of years later. Talk about a round trip. And did you know that the only true wild horse species left today is the Przewalski's horse? Found in Mongolia, these horses are considered the closest living relatives to the ancient wild horses. They were once extinct in the wild, but have been reintroduced thanks to conservation efforts. Nature's full of surprises, isn't it? Now let's trot over to around 4000 BC on the vast steppes of Central Asia. Here, the bowtie culture in what's now Kazakhstan did something extraordinary. They began domesticating horses. But why horses, you might ask? Well, horses offered speed and endurance unmatched by other animals. They could travel long distances across the open plains, which was a game changer for these nomadic people. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence that supports this early domestication. They've found horse bones with wear patterns consistent with bridling and pottery shards containing residues of horse milk. Yes, horse milk. It's still consumed in some cultures today. This wasn't just a casual friendship. It was the start of a life-changing partnership that would alter the course of human history. This domestication allowed for increased mobility. People could now travel farther and faster, leading to expanded trade routes and cultural exchanges. It also revolutionized warfare. Mounted riders had a significant advantage over foot soldiers, changing military tactics forever. Imagine the shock of facing an enemy who could charge at you with such speed and power. But domestication wasn't uniform across the globe. Different cultures domesticated horses at different times and for various reasons, some for meat and milk, others for transportation and labor. This diversity in domestication practices adds to the mystery and intrigue of horse history. But here's where things get really interesting. Horses didn't just stay put in Central Asia, they spread like wildfire across continents. The domesticated horse reached Europe, the Middle East and China, each culture embracing these animals in unique ways. In Mesopotamia, horses became integral to chariot warfare. The invention of the spoked wheel allowed for lighter, faster chariots, and horses provided the speed. These chariots were used not only in battle, but also in ceremonial events and races. The Hittites and Egyptians even had manuals on horse training and care, showing just how important they were. Meanwhile, in ancient Egypt, horses were symbols of wealth and power. They pulled the pharaoh's chariots and were depicted in art and hieroglyphs. The Egyptians even buried horses with their owners to accompany them in the afterlife. Talk about VIP treatment. In China, horses were crucial for communication and warfare, especially during the Han Dynasty. They facilitated the development of the Silk Road, connecting East and West and allowing for the exchange of goods, ideas and cultures. Without horses, the Silk Road might never have flourished as it did. Silk, spices and even technologies spread thanks to these four-legged wonders. And let's not forget India, where the arrival of horses significantly impacted warfare and transportation. The famed Marwari horses, known for their inward-turning ear tips, became a symbol of nobility and were prized by warriors. In warfare, horses completely changed the game. Imagine Genghis Khan's mighty Mongol warriors charging on horseback, striking fear across empires. Their mastery of horseback archery made them nearly unstoppable. They could shoot arrows accurately while galloping at full speed, a skill that baffled their enemies. Speaking of unstoppable forces, let's talk about Alexander the Great and his legendary horse, Bucephalus. Bucephalus was said to be untamable until young Alexander figured out he was afraid of his own shadow. By turning the horse towards the sun, he calmed him down and earned his trust. Together, they conquered lands from Greece to India. It's a tale of mutual respect and bravery. In medieval Europe, knights in shining armor rode into battle atop powerful war horses, embodying the code of chivalry. These horses were trained to be fearless, charging into the fray amidst clashing swords and flying arrows. They wore their own armor, known as barding, to protect them in combat. The bond between knight and steed was sacred, often chronicled in songs and legends. Even in the American Civil War, horses played pivotal roles. They were messengers, cavalry mounts, and even targets in battle strategy. Famous horses like Little Sorrel, ridden by Confederate General Stonewall Jackson, became symbols of loyalty and endurance. The loss of a horse could be as devastating as the loss of a comrade. If you're enjoying this ride through history, maybe give that like button a little neigh. And if you want more tales that are a bit unstable, consider hitting subscribe. We promise it's not a nightmare. Now let's canter into how horses revolutionized agriculture and transportation. Before tractors and trucks, farmers relied on horsepower, literally. Horses could plough fields faster than oxen, cover more ground, and work longer hours. This efficiency led to increased food production, supporting larger populations and fueling societal growth. In medieval Europe, the invention of the horse collar allowed horses to pull heavier loads without choking, making them even more valuable on the farm. They pulled ploughs, harrows and carts loaded with produce. The agricultural revolution owes a lot to our equine friends. Transportation was another area transformed by horses. They pulled carriages and coaches connecting cities and rural areas. The stagecoach became a symbol of progress, delivering mail and passengers across great distances. Imagine the thrill of travelling at a whopping 10 miles per hour. The Pony Express is a legendary example. Established in 1860, it was a relay system of riders and horses that delivered mail across the American West in just 10 days, a remarkable feat at the time. Riders braved harsh weather, rough terrain, and the threat of attacks, all for the sake of communication. It was short-lived but left a lasting legacy. But wait, there's more. Horses crossed oceans literally. Spanish explorers brought them to the Americas in the 15th century. Indigenous peoples had never seen horses before, and these animals quickly became integral to their way of life. The plains Native American tribes, like the Comanche and Sioux, became exceptional horsemen. Horses transformed hunting practices, making it easier to track and hunt buffalo. This led to a significant cultural shift, enhancing mobility and altering social structures. Tipis became more elaborate because horses could carry heavier loads. From hunting to warfare, horses were a total game changer. The horse became a symbol of wealth and status. Horsemanship skills were highly respected, and stories of brave warriors and their horses became part of oral traditions. The relationship between the Native Americans and their horses was profound, rooted in mutual respect and necessity. However, this introduction wasn't without its challenges. Horses also facilitated the spread of diseases and conflicts. It's a complex chapter in history, illustrating how one species can dramatically alter the fate of many cultures. And let's not forget about the famous horses that left their hoofprints on history. There's Marengo, Napoleon Bonaparte's steadfast mount, known for enduring harsh conditions and numerous battles. Marengo was a small, grey Arabian horse, but his courage was immense. He carried Napoleon through significant battles, including Waterloo, and lived to a ripe old age, eventually becoming a British prize. Then there's Sergeant Reckless, a decorated mare from the Korean War who carried supplies and wounded soldiers, even under heavy fire. She made solo trips, memorizing routes and saving countless lives. Her bravery earned her several awards and a place in military history. In the world of sports, Secretariat stands out. In 1973, this legendary racehorse won the Triple Crown, setting records that still stand today. His Belmont Stakes win was by an astonishing 31 lengths. Secretariat wasn't just fast, he was a national sensation, inspiring books, movies, and a lasting legacy in horse racing. And who could forget about Seabiscuit, the undersized racehorse who became a symbol of hope during the Great Depression. His unlikely victories against larger, more favoured horses captured the hearts of millions. It's stories like these that show the incredible bond and mutual triumphs of horses and humans. All right, time to unveil that historical twist. Despite their massive impact, the exact moment and reason humans first domesticated horses remain a bit of a mystery. Some say it was for meat and milk, others argue it was for transportation and warfare. Recent genetic studies suggest multiple domestication events in different regions. The truth? It's probably a mix, but the debate keeps historians on their toes. Isn't it fascinating how one of humanity's closest animal companions still holds secrets from us? In modern times, horses have taken on new roles. They're therapists now. Equine-assisted therapy helps people overcome physical and mental challenges. Interacting with horses can improve emotional well-being, enhance communication skills, and boost confidence. Programs for veterans, children with autism, and people with disabilities have shown remarkable results. And let's not forget those majestic mounted police units keeping our streets safe. They offer a unique presence in law enforcement, being both approachable to the public and effective in crowd control. Plus, who doesn't love seeing a horse in the city? Horses are also stars in sports and entertainment. From the adrenaline-pumping races of the Kentucky Derby to the grace of Olympic dressage, they continue to captivate us. Their speed, strength and elegance make them natural performers, and their bond with humans shines through in every event. In agriculture, while machines have largely taken over, horses are still used in sustainable farming practices and in regions where technology is less accessible. They remain symbols of tradition and a connection to the land. So what's next for these incredible creatures? With advancements in technology and science, we're learning more about them every day. Cloning has been used to preserve endangered breeds, and genetic studies are helping us understand their history and diseases. There's even research into using horse DNA to learn about human migrations, as our stories are so intertwined. But despite all this progress, the horse still holds on to some of its mystery. we continue to discover new things about their behavior, communication, and intelligence. They are complex beings with emotions and social structures deserving of our respect and care. One thing's for sure, the story of the horse is still being written, and we get to be a part of it. How amazing is that? Oh. From wild roamers to our noble companions, horses have galloped alongside us through the rise and fall of civilizations. They've been warriors, workers, and friends. They've connected continents, revolutionized warfare, and even provided comfort in times of need. And their journey is far from over. They've helped shape who we are, influencing cultures, economies, and even languages. Phrases like "hold your horses," "horsepower," and "don't look a gift horse in the mouth" are reminders of their impact on our daily lives. So next time you see a horse, remember, you're looking at a living piece of history that's been shaping our world for millennia. Pretty cool, huh? If you enjoyed this video, click now to watch a tale of the strongest horses ever.